Marc, Bernal and Pedri, you mentioned that was going to be the starting midfield at Barcelona ahead of maybe a Frankie de Jong in some situations.
I believe that this will happen. The problem is that, for example, Barcelona trusts the youth, trusts the academy, and Real Madrid doesn't trust the youth.
But now they're going to start trusting with Nico Paz, Jacobo Ramon, Kem Andres.
But that is not trusting because Nico Paz have to leave, Kem Andres have to leave, Victor Munoz have to leave, Karetsas have to leave.
It's not trusting to an extent because there was a buyback clause. You see the top goal scorer of the Premier League, it's Haaland. You see one of the top assisters in the Premier League, it's Haaland. We are normalizing Erling Haaland. He is one of the best strikers ever in Premier League history. Just Derry next season. Plays for Chelsea's first team or he goes on loan?
I think he should go on loan, to be realistic. Because you have Giovanni Kenda, you have Estevão, you have Cole Palmer.
Go on loan
now
to Strasbourg or Eredivisie?
I would prefer Eredivisie.
FC Wonderkid Podcast, Season 3, Episode 26, here with my great friend, Philippe Souza. How are you doing, my guy?
Very well, Alex, and you? How are you doing?
I'm extremely excited because, yes, we're going to be talking about Wonderkids going bold in the Champions League, Europa League, and we're going to do a big debate between us that was very, very good a couple of weeks ago. A choose one between this and this player, and it was a tough choice that you had Valentin Barco or Kobe Mainu, right?
Yeah, very tough choice. I bring some choose ones that I don't want to know, so to do. I don't want to do for Alex. Do for me. So,
oh my gosh, and I'm going to challenge you too. But yes, thank you so much for clicking on this video. The FC Wonderkid podcast. Every week, a new podcast focused talking about young players. Please help us by liking the video on YouTube. 5 stars on Spotify. Let's pass the 40 ratings, people. The numbers are high, so let's get the ratings much higher because then more people are going to listen to the podcast. So 5 stars is a huge help. And yes, thank you for clicking on this video. And yes, let's go bold talking about Champions League Wonderkids. And I'm saying this, and we got to mention Désiré Doué, that is becoming a bit of a Mr. Champions League. Yeah. We saw it in the final of the Champions League last season, that he just went extremely bold. One of the best finals I saw from a Wonderkid. And now, going bold against Monaco, it's Désiré Doué saying, I'm going to get minutes in this French national team.
And and this guy is in top form in the right moment of the season, because we saw the first half of the season of Désiré Doué. It was not so good as he ended last season, for example, but he appears in the right moments for PSG, and this is very important.
He's clutch.
He's clutch. And it's a strength that is very difficult to find in players. This guy appears in the right moments and decides in the right moments. Ousmane Dembélé was subbed off for PSG at the 28th minute.
In the first half, yes.
And Désiré Doué entered in the game and he solved the game. 2 goals and one assist.
Exactly. 2 goals, definitely.
2 goals, yeah. But again, last season he proved that he was clutch for PSG, crucial for PSG, not just in the final. That in the final was, everyone noticed that.
More than 25 goal involvements in that season.
It was crucial for PSG to win the Champions League and to win Ligue 1. And I'm starting to feel that this season Désiré Doué will be one of the most important players of PSG.
And people forget it was his first season at PSG.
Yes,
Mbappé left. Désiré Doué and João Neves came and they solved many issues in this club. And I gotta say another thing too. We're FC Wonderkid and we were extremely happy to see a player getting his deserved minutes, league minutes, Dro Fernandes, showing to the people that hated the move to PSG that it was a wise choice for Dro Fernandes to play in a midfield with Vitinha and João Neves. The ideal replacement for Fabien Ruiz one day leaving. What a job done by PSG. Now we understand, and it's been public that Matteo Alemany, the former sporting director of Barcelona, was going to do a swap deal between Fabien Ruiz and Gavi, and the Barca board was like, no, Gavi ain't leaving to PSG. We ain't doing this mistake. So it's interesting seeing that a couple of years passed, and Yes, they didn't get Gavi, Olmo, or Fermin, but they got Dro Fernandes.
And I think these are a relation between these profiles of the midfielders that PSG is signing and Luis Enrique. Because we saw Dro Fernandes and we already knew that Luis Enrique would love to have Dro Fernandes in his team because he likes that type of midfielders. And I think it's impossible for a person that likes football don't like Dro Fernandes, because this guy is that type of player that people should pay tickets to watch him play. Just to watch him play.
If you're a Barca fan, if you enjoy technique, first touch, brilliance in terms of decision making,
it's a joy to watch.
Yes,
honestly.
yes,
and if you have a midfield with Vitinha, João Neves, and Dro Fernandes,
can PSG keep this midfield for 3 years?
That's
the big question.
I think Luis Enrique is very important
to keep
them because it's the right manager for the right profiles of the midfielders.
True.
And other player that I'm really liking this season, people are not talking so much about him, but this guy is doing a very consistent season. Is Warren Zaïre-Emery.
True.
That it's good performance after good performance.
People forget that he's still under 21.
He's under 19.
Exactly.
He's 19 years old. Warren Zaïre-Emery. You talk about Warren Zaïre-Emery since he's 16.
True.
He's a case just like Rayan Cherki.
Or Lamine Yamal, that was 15. But yes, Zaïre-Emery since a very early start.
And people don't talk so much about him, but fantastic season from Warren Zaïre-Emery and this depth in the midfield of PSG with a lot of young quality.
Can play at the 6, can play at the 8, and even can play at the 10 if he needs to. Warren Zaïre-Emery.
And PSG has Warren Zaïre-Emery, João Neves, Vitinha, Seny Mayugo, Dro Fernandes, Fabian Ruiz, a lot of midfielders, and I think Luis Enrique is handling the dressing room and the games that the minutes played for each player. This guy Luis Enrique is handling that well because Dro Fernandes is getting minutes, Warren Zaïre-Emery is getting minutes, Seny Mayugo is getting a lot of minutes, João Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. Luis Enrique knows he knows how to handle the dressing room and how to handle the right minutes to bring to these players.
Yes. So it's very interesting. True. Would you say that PSG has the best young midfielders in the world in their team?
I don't know, because
if we were to say for me the 3 best teams in the world with midfielders, young midfielders, it's PSG, João Neves, Dro Fernandes, Warren Zaïre-Emery, Chelsea. Okay, André Santos, some magnificent players, magnificent Wonderkids in midfield. And Barcelona, obviously.
Yeah.
These are the top 3 teams. So if I had to pick one, I'd go Barcelona.
Yeah,
but it's interesting to see. And it's because of La Masia that I do pick Barcelona, because they just keep on coming, like we see with Dro Fernandes.
They don't stop.
But I like the attention you gave to Dro Fernandes, and I think it does make sense here at this part of the podcast to give attention to another Wonderkid of Barcelona, in this case, Marc Bernal. We've said it in the past. Barcelona without Pedri are not the same team, obviously. Barcelona with Pedri are serious contenders, serious to win the Champions League. And I'm not joking about this. But without Pedri, they're not contenders to win the Champions League. However, the solution to not having Pedri is clearly playing Marc Bernal. Marc Bernal, Frenkie de Jong, Dani Olmo, or a Fermin Lopez midfield is more balanced than any other midfield that they're going to be putting with Casado, Frenkie de Jong. No! Put Marc Bernal because you need a leader of the tempos of the game, of the control of the game. And if Pedri is not there, Marc Bernal is the ideal solution. And that's why it might be bold for a lot of people. We saying Marc Bernal could go to the World Cup. But if anything happens to Pedri in the Spanish national team, maybe Marc Bernal can be the best solution possible for the Spanish national team in that position.
I agree. And I think Barcelona is better with Marc Bernal. I think the role that Frenkie de Jong plays with Marc Bernal and Pedri, it's different. Because when Pedri is playing with Frenkie de Jong, Frankie de Jong is more worried about receiving the ball more in deep zones of the midfield.
Yes.
And Pedri is more worried with connecting the midfield with the attack and even controlling the tempo of the game.
True.
And with Marc Bernal, it's a little bit different because Marc Bernal controls very well the tempo of the game, and he receives the ball in those deep zones that Frankie de Jong should receive with Pedri.
Yes.
And Frankie de Jong can be more responsible in areas of the midfield more ahead and connecting the midfield with the attack. I think Frankie de Jong is that type of complete midfielder. He can also play as a number 6. He can also play as a number 8.
I just think it's clear to say what you're saying. I think with Marc Bernal, everything's clear. The instructions, what they have to do. Casado and Frankie de Jong, there's some moments that they just don't understand what they have to do with each other. And maybe it's because both think the same in many moments. With Marc Bernal, he has that different mindset, perspective. He's more of a defensive midfielder than Frankie de Jong. I'd say Frankie de Jong more box to box, and Bernal is the one to control the tempo if there's no Pedri. But you said it, and I'm going to put it again. Marc Bernal and Pedri, you mentioned that was going to be the starting midfield at Barcelona ahead of maybe a Frankie de Jong in some situations.
I believe that this will happen. Marc Bernal and Pedri. And talking about Marc Casado, for me, are two things that clearly distinct Marc Bernal from Marc Casado. Two things that are very important.
Yes.
And are huge difference.
Reading of the game.
One is the control of the tempo. I think the Bernal control of the tempo of the game, it's in another level when comparing with Marc Casado. And other thing is the work off the ball.
Exactly.
Marc Bernal work off the ball is very strong, and I think when Marc Casado plays with Frankie de Jong, the strength of the midfield
completely.
It goes down. It goes
physically,
down.
the duels. Like Bernal, you get the feeling that he can get to any player next to him. Casado, you just go through him.
They lost more duels in the midfield when Bernal is not playing.
100%.
So,
100%.
And I think midfield, I would love to watch this season midfield with Marc Bernal and Pedri.
And Fermin Lopez.
And
we could see it for Spain one day. Or maybe it's a bold statement in the
Marc
World Cup.
Bernal, again. Marc Bernal is 18 years old.
Exactly.
This generation, Paco Barça, Marc Bernal is
and first start for Barcelona, first goal. Marc Bernal is a generational talent. Don't think people that we're overhyping.
No.
Because I see loads of comments. I typed Marc Bernal on X, and loads of people saying he's overrated. People give him loads of value because he's a Barcelona player. He doesn't deserve the hype. And I'm there thinking, a person that has watched Marc Bernal loads of times, more than 20 times easily, thinking, oh my days, they have no idea what they're saying. Bernal is such a special player. And you're already trying to limit a player he can reach the highest level of the game. It's ridiculous, the criticism that people get. So this is a moment that I can say, here at FC Wonderkid, we don't support criticism that is ridiculous, like saying Marc Bernal is overrated for no reason. For no reason, because I'm sure these people did not see Marc Bernal play. And yes,
I think people... when a player does a good game, people have good things to say about this player. When a player does a bad game, people have bad things to say about that.
Very reactionary. Very reactionary.
It's not like this because Marc Bernal returned from injury. Maybe some games that you saw Marc Bernal in this return. It was not his best level. I think he's reaching his best level now.
Exactly.
I think physically.
And that's why he's now starting. And he wasn't before.
Yeah, he was
before. Very, very interesting. We mentioned PSG, Barcelona. Now we should mention a bit of Real Madrid too, because we did see a lot of news and huge news that La Fábrica maybe is going to Real Madrid or returning to Real Madrid. Well, La Fábrica is the academy of Real Madrid, but I mean La Fábrica talents that we mention on a weekly basis in the FC Wonderkid podcast. A lot of people are stating that they're going to go to Real Madrid this summer to be reevaluated, and then we see if they stay or if they leave for a permanent fee much higher. But Nico Page, 9 mil. Kem Andres, 10 mil. Jacobo Ramon, 8 mil. And maybe Victor Munoz for 9 mil. just having a summer checkup and understanding, will they go on loan again? Will we sell them or will they stay at Real Madrid? From all these 4 youngsters, Nico Paz, 100% stay.
He's ready, yeah.
Kem Andres?
Not ready yet.
Jacobo Ramon?
I think not ready yet, but he will be ready.
I think he'll be ready if we compare him to Asensio and the other center backs.
Yeah.
But it's still a doubt. And
yes.
Victor Munoz is not
He's
ready
not
still.
ready. He's not ready still.
But still, La Fábrica, finally, we're seeing Real Madrid looking at La Fábrica as solutions like we're stressing every podcast.
La Fábrica was always a fantastic youth academy.
Exactly.
A lot of brilliant talents came from La Fábrica.
Karetsas, Gonzalo Garcia now.
The problem is that, for example, Barcelona trusts the youth, trusts the academy, and Real Madrid doesn't trust the youth.
But now they're going to start trusting with Nico
I hope
Paz,
so.
Jacobo Ramon, Kem
But
Andres.
that is not trusting because the Nico Paz have to leave, Kem Andres have to leave,
It's
Victor
true.
Munoz have to
It's
leave,
not trusting.
Carreras have to leave.
It's not trusting to an extent because there was a buyback clause. There was a buyback clause.
Yes.
And if there was no buyback clause, I would be saying to you, yes, they're not trusting at all. But that buyback clause does change things, in my opinion.
Yes.
With Karetsas, they didn't trust. That they didn't trust, okay?
Yeah, and the other point that I want to talk from La Fábrica, and please Real Madrid, you have to trust this guy, is Juan Martinez, a centre-back, 18-year-old
The
centre-back.
Sergio Ramos region.
Yeah, in my opinion, I like other talents that
Yes.
people are talking about, Jesus Fortea, for example. But in my opinion, right now, Juan Martinez is the best talent of La Fábrica.
I think he has the
In my
highest
opinion.
potential, no doubt, in my mind.
opinion,
And that's
yeah.
why he's training with the first team for like
Yes.
2 years now.
Yes.
It's not. It hasn't been just last week. He has
Yeah,
appeared.
yeah.
So there's been a lot of preparation for him to
And he
come
had
and
a
to be a
tough
solution.
injury, a tough
Exactly. That was very unexpected.
Yeah.
Just like Marc Bernal with Real Madrid. My last thing that I want to state, and as clear as day, I was saying this on off to you, and it does give it does have an impact for a player like Mastatuon or for another Arda Güler. The way that Real Madrid play is not the right way for Kylian Mbappé. Clearly, if Mbappé is winning the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, it's not playing as a striker. It's playing as a winger, where we saw Kylian Mbappé dominates in the World Cup, where we saw Kylian Mbappé mesmerizing everyone and saying he can win a Ballon d'Or one day, no doubt in my mind, at Monaco, at starting at PSG. Now, this version of Kylian Mbappé, yes, on ball, we all know he's one of the most talented players we've ever seen. Nobody's criticizing that, just like Lamine Yamal too at 18. But what we're seeing off ball is not normal for a player at a Ballon d'Or caliber because he's not playing in his natural position, which is completely understandable. Kylian Mbappé, if he's winning that Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, is playing at the left wing, and Real Madrid need to find a solution for the striker. I think Gonzalo Garcia is a great choice that they already have there. But maybe we need to be talking about a top target, a top number 9, Victor Osimhen, Erling Haaland, these types of names, in order to maybe see the best version of Kylian Mbappé possible. He needs a top number 9, and when I think of like the French national team, even like I think maybe they should play with Ekitike at striker and Mbappé at the left wing. And I know you have Dembele, and I know you have so many players, France. But if you're gonna play the best possible football, is playing the best possible football in the right positions, okay? And I think Ekitike could be the new Giroud for Kylian Mbappé at the left wing, and not Mbappé being the new Giroud, the new striker. It's not happening, in my opinion.
But Kylian Mbappé is playing as a striker since almost the beginning of the season.
Since last season.
And do you think he's doing a bad season? Individually?
Individually, no. I said for the team, I think Real Madrid will never be at the... And no, individually, in terms of numbers, I agree with you. He's not having a bad season, and nobody can say that. Golden Boot winner, great numbers. But in order to win trophies and to be rivaling in the Ballon d'Or to Erling Haaland and Lamine Yamal, or Harry Kane too, that I think has a chance to win the Ballon d'Or too, Mbappé has a higher chance, in my opinion, playing at the winger than at the striker. And I even remember a year ago, Thierry Henry talking about Kylian Mbappé as a player, what he's doing at Real Madrid, what he has to adapt at Real Madrid, playing as a striker. He's playing behind the goal. He needs to do 1-2 touches, playing with the winger. He's not playing facing the goal. with the speed, with the changes in directions. Kylian Mbappé is not using his best weapons in the position of striker. The speed, the decision making, the change of the change of directions. Kylian Mbappé is one of the best ever doing this, and he's not doing it as much because he's playing a striker.
But maybe the problem could be the dynamics of the team, because he can play as a striker and play the game like this, using his best strengths. I think taking the space, and I think that's where Kylian Mbappé can do a huge difference for Real Madrid. He's attacking the spaces so fast. He finishes well, and
at the winger, so we agree.
I think he can play as a striker if the dynamics change a little bit, in my opinion. Because
he's not Cristiano, mate. I thought he would be Cristiano Ronaldo, mate.
No,
he's not Cristiano.
He's not.
Unfortunately, he's not
But,
Cristiano.
but
Cristiano managed to do it at the striker position in a very special circumstances. But even Cristiano himself understood he needed Benzema. And I really think that Mbappé still hasn't understood he will need a Benzema. He will need a player, a partner in crime that is going to be facilitating with a lot of movements, like the presence in the box. There's no presence in the box this season for Real Madrid.
And
even Joselu had more presence in the box.
Gonzalo Garcia cannot be that guy.
It can completely. And they win a Champions League one season before Kylian Mbappé arrives, and they have target number 9s, okay? That's the big thing. Joselu, my gosh, he made such a big difference. He was so important for Real Madrid to win that Champions League.
And,
So yes, let us know in the comment section down below if you agree with my statement of Mbappé needing to change position with Real Madrid. And yes, let us know what you're thinking. We have other teams that are in the Champions League and we have to mention. And it does make sense to mention now because a lot of things need to change too. And you were very critical with the Chelsea defense is not enough to win the Champions League.
No, it's not.
What were you thinking in this match now that they bottled it? Liam Rosenior did have a player off. I completely understand that. But the substitutions were a bit, I'm not going to say weird, but he went very defensive, let's say, taking off Cole Palmer also early. What were you thinking? It's the second draw in a row.
Yeah, and how they consider the goal?
In a corner. It was a man-marking mistake.
Yeah, right. I saw Liam Rosenior that he was very, very upset with the player that mismarked the guy, because he should mark the guy that scored the goal.
True.
And he marked. He didn't say names because he didn't want to throw players under the bus. He said, but some mistake there in set pieces, and these type of things are very important. These details in set pieces, and this is what make teams winning championships. People don't
could he
think
work
about
it already this. Still the set pieces?
Yes, but this type of things, a player that mismark other player, it's things that you expect from a professional player to don't do these mistakes.
But one thing's for sure, a team like Chelsea that is competing for Champions League spots cannot be having as many red cards in a season like they're having.
Yeah.
Comparing to other Premier League teams, Chelsea is the number 1 team with red cards, with 6 red cards. Second place has 4. Everton, okay? So Chelsea needs to fix this. And I know they're a young squad. I know they can be immature in many moments. But there comes the manager. Then comes Liam Rosenior, needing to calm things down, needing to put the right players at the right moments. And honestly, I think there's some good things, some or certain aspects that I'm liking from Liam Rosenior, but others I'm a bit shaky. And one thing's for sure, Philippe, if Chelsea is not finishing in the top 4 this season in the Champions League, Liam Rosenior is not staying at Chelsea.
And Maresca is smiling, at home. But
the next Chelsea manager is smiling because it's a privilege to be a Chelsea manager.
Of course.
Top salary, you're one of the biggest brands of football, and you're in a brand that has football heritage this century.
When Enzo Maresca was sacked, I thought that was a bad decision because I didn't saw that the problem was on the manager. But the board thinks always that the problem is on the manager.
I agree.
I think one thing that is really they need a leader in the defense, in my opinion. A center back that is a leader.
And Wesley Fofana is not that leader.
No.
Shalaba is not that leader.
No.
Levi Colville might be that leader.
Maybe, but
But
this
he's
guy is
injury
20
prone.
But he's 22 years old.
But
I
he's
think
injury
you
prone. I
need
think that's a problem.
Yeah, but he's 22 years old, and I think you need a leader. Rhys James is the captain, but I think you need a leader that is clear, that talks in the game like these guys know what he's talking about, like
You're
organize
saying
the
that
defense.
I'm thinking John Terry. You
Like
need a John Terry.
You need a John Terry.
At
You
Chelsea
need a
now.
John Terry
Yes.
on this team. And I think Enzo Fernandez could be a good captain. I don't know if he's the right leader. I think Chelsea team is a very young team. A very young team. Young players will commit a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
These mistakes have costs.
I agree.
Cost points, cost
I
championships.
agree.
And I think you have the guys are just signing young players for the future. But if you want to play for the Premier League next season, you have to have a more experienced player.
And for me, the manager is the big problem, because even for the player too, for his project as a player, for his pathway, it's very important. The manager that he's gonna have, the style of play. If I'm doing all these pathways of all these Chelsea Wonderkids, and I don't have a stable, consistent Chelsea manager, that's a huge problem. And Enzo Maresca did bring a bit of stability, or a feeling of stability, because he wins the Conference League, he wins the Club World Cup, he does finish in top 4, so they're very good results. And sacking him, I agree with you, the timing was off, and it was clearly because he went against the board. However, Chelsea need to find a solution, and I'm in doubt if Liam Rosenior is the right man. And then I can clearly state to you guys, if he doesn't get top 4, I clearly think that Chelsea are not going to keep Liam Rosenior. And I'm not saying it's the right choice to sack him straight away. However, I do think that's going to be the case, and I do think other managers could do a better job than Liam Rosenior too. That's why we're here, and that's why we're then giving opinions.
That's the mistake that a lot of boards, and you were talking about this, that they want results like for yesterday. And
then you have Arsenal. And then you have the Arsenal board with Arteta in 7
Arsenal
years.
Trust Arteta.
I was thinking, I didn't say this to you. Did you? I did the podcast, Portuguese podcast, pretty much show on a weekly basis. Thank you everyone that listens to it too. And I did say a proposal that you stated to me, that if Arsenal doesn't win any trophies, you think Arteta should remain the manager of Arsenal. What if Cesc Fabregas is the proposed manager to replace him?
If I was on the Chelsea board,
the Arsenal.
On Arsenal board, I wanted to keep Arteta, even if it says
Fabregas.
0 trophies this season.
Even if it says Fabregas, the man offered the job to change Arsenal.
Because it's the project. It's a project. You are close to reach your what you want. You are close to reach what you want, and you are throwing that project under the bus to bring another manager that will need time. Alex, this is the Premier League.
Yes.
This is the Premier League.
No, he will need time, yes.
This is the Premier League.
But will he need 7 years, says Fabregas, to win a Premier League with Arsenal?
I don't know.
He will not need 7 years.
I don't know, bro.
How many years did Como need going from Serie B to now going to a semi-final of the Coppa d'Italia? You can tell me it's different. No, it's not, because Como was a Serie B team that is now beating teams like Juve, Inter, Napoli, and they're beating with what? Smart investments, smart recruitment, smart style of play. I see bad recruitment at Arsenal this season. Andrea Berta is clearly did a bad job this summer getting Madueke, Eze, Gyökeres for more than 100 million. And then you see Hugo Viana, new sporting director at City, getting Cherki, getting Semenyo, getting Marc that are signings to win the Premier League. I think Arteta has a hand with Andrea Berta in appointing these players. So I put a bit of blame to Arteta, and I do think I'm going to go bold and say, if Cesc Fabregas is the manager to replace Arteta at Arsenal, I do believe he can be revolutionary and winning the Premier League title. Because there's one thing that I have to be critical of Arteta, is we all knew Fleep. We were doing Arsenal rebuilds in the summer. We were all saying, Arsenal need a left winger. What did they sign? A right winger. Madueke. We were all saying, what? What is happening? Oh no, he believes in Martinelli. He believes in Trossard. That's Arteta's fault. He's putting the belief in those players to be those top players. Odegaard has 1 goal scored this season in the Premier League. He's his number 10. That cannot be the case. Odegaard, one day, I'm really hopeful he plays as a number 8. Next to another 6, to a Declan Rice maybe. Maybe having Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and a Nico Paz as a 10. Maybe that's the solution, more attacking football. And I don't see Arsenal having that attacking football in full force that I see from a City, that I see from a Chelsea in moments. It's very worrying, Philippe. But I do blame Arteta.
It's different style of plays. Arteta wants to win the games in one manner, and Pep Guardiola wants to win the games in other way. So I think it's very different. Pep Guardiola wants to have the amount of a lot of players in the area, a lot of attacking players playing at the same time, who want to control the ball 90% of the time, want to play close to the box of the opponent. I think Arsenal right now is more worried about the defensive consistency, and this is clear about the signings as well in the summer. Mbappé, Christian Mosquera,
Zubimendi to give that stability.
I think that is very clear. I think I prefer, of course, the Pep Guardiola mindset, but I think the Arteta mindset can give results. Give results if the board, the players, and the manager are connected.
I don't know.
I agree with you. Man. The signings of Arsenal this season, from the attacking part, Madueke, Gyökeres,
Eze, 180 million. These three.
Eze, I think should play more minutes.
Oh yes, no doubt.
I think he could fit the style of play. I think Gyökeres does not fit the style of play. And Madueke is not good enough.
Exactly. And it was bought, why? To be a solution to Saka. And we all knew it. And you're prioritizing a replacement for Saka, then the solution for the left wing. That is that's a mistake. That the sporting director should never make that happen. Another important note is Bukayo Saka extended with Arsenal. I think it's the right move because he's an Arsenal fan. I'm going to be very clear about that. He's an Arsenal fan. It's his dream to win a Premier League title at Arsenal. Good for you, Bukayo Saka. I have to be enormously grateful for what we see from Bukayo Saka at Arsenal. And he's clearly the player of Arteta. Okay, of the reign of Arteta, he's played in many positions. He's the Bukayo Saka is the Arteta player of the Arteta era.
I think he's the Arsenal player. I think he will be a legend of Arsenal.
Oh yes. Declan Rice. All of these players are going to be complete legends. But I want to say this point that I think it's very important and it's very clear. I see a lot of Arsenal fans saying that Declan Rice can be the best player in the world, this, that, and the other thing. Declan Rice can be the best player in the Premier League, this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to be very clear about what I'm going to say right now. There's no player in the Arsenal team, even if they win the Premier League, that is truly, in terms of ability, the best player in the Premier League, okay? This season, no doubt, Erling Haaland is the best player in the Premier League. Nobody can debate this, okay? You see the Anfield win was Haaland. You see the top goal scorer of the Premier League, it's Haaland. You see one of the top assisters in the Premier League, it's Haaland. We are normalizing Erling Haaland. He is one of the best strikers ever in Premier League history. Look at these numbers all time. He's got 407 goal involvements in 398 matches in his career. He brings Norway to the first World Cup since 1998. And we are normalizing a player like this. A player like this is what makes City win the Premier League, the differential. And I do think, for the sake of Declan Rice, for the expectations that you're putting to a player like Declan Rice, it's not fair for you to say to him that he's going to be the best player in the Premier League, he's the best player of Arsenal, because he shouldn't be the best player of his team. Declan Rice is like an Elliot Anderson, an important foundational player for any team. You need important players that are not the star, but they're madly important. Look at Man United with Paul Scholes. Was he better than Rooney? No, nobody would say that. But he was very important. He was an extraordinary player. Everybody knew their place. And at Arsenal, nobody knows their place, in my opinion. And that's because of Arteta. And when you say mindset, I agree with you. Mindset for the group, mindset in terms of preparation, mindset in terms of culture, I like it. But mindset of attacking a game, winning a game, mindset of signing better players, because Edu was not the right sporting director. Andrea Berta, I'm not getting the feeling that's the right sporting director. Arteta clearly doesn't like the sporting directors too. So something is going wrong, and maybe a reset could be the right choice. So that's why I proposed, I know it's a bold proposal here to have on the podcast, I didn't say it to you before, but I think Cesc Fabregas would be the best possible replacement for Mikel Arteta if he wins zero trophy. No, if he's winless, zero trophies this season, because the mindset was it says to the team, it's okay to fail, and it's not okay to fail when you have the budget, when you have the team that Arsenal have and the squad value. You cannot keep Arteta.
I
It's
think
good to think differently.
I think it's
respect
okay to fail because Man City spent a lot of money in the last recent years.
I'd say Arsenal spent as much. I'd say Arsenal spent as much in terms of net
And
spend.
Man United spent a lot of money as well.
True.
And Liverpool spent a lot of money
But the
as well.
thing with City is City sells very well too. So I can agree with you, but I think in terms of management, in terms of recruitment,
But Arsenal is keeping their key players. Even the key players that you don't like Gabriel Martinelli.
no, well, I do like Martinelli. I just want to put that clear. I just don't think he's the starter left winger for a Premier League winning team. He's not as good as a Nico Williams. He's not as good. Arsenal should want to sign a player like Nico Williams. Lamine is never possible. Nico Williams is not. Come on, go for him.
Yeah, but Odegaard, for example, they are keeping Saliba,
Odegaard
Gabriel.
Completely. I like the Arsenal
And I
team.
think Odegaard does not have the work rate needed to play as a number 8.
And I'm going to mention now, it doesn't make sense. Look how Mikel Arteta is developing Miles Lewis-Kelly. That is a phenomenal talent. I agree with you. Look at the game he had against Real Madrid, and you know what I'm going to say. Look at the way that Pep Guardiola is developing Nico O'Reilly. That is playing left back and also midfield. And he was so important in that match yesterday against Newcastle. That brace, playing at the left wing, that is a bold choice that only a Pep Guardiola would do, because he knows how to develop the youngsters in the right way. And even Arteta cannot do it the same way with Miles Lewis-Kelly, what we're seeing with Nico O'Reilly at Man City. And just a note, remember that Chelsea wanted to sign Nico O'Reilly. And everybody in the summer was saying, what? Why would they want him? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Same story as it was with Cole Palmer. Imagine if Chelsea had got it done with Nico O'Reilly too.
And
It would be André Santos, Enzo Fernandes, Moisés Caicedo, Nico O'Reilly, Valentin Barco maybe next season. Oh my God.
And Nico O'Reilly is doing an unbelievable season. I think no one could expect this season of Nico O'Reilly. He's being a crucial player for Manchester City. You could say that Nico O'Reilly will play a lot of games. He will will be a good option to play in the defense, in the midfield. Could be a useful option. But this type of impact, like scoring a brace against Newcastle, deciding completely the game, it's fantastic. A fantastic season. And let me say this: Morgan Rogers didn't make to the Manchester City first team. Jadon Sancho didn't make it. Jeremiah Frimpong didn't make it. Romeo Lavia didn't make it. James McAtee make it, but didn't have an impact. Cole Palmer make it, but didn't have a top impact.
Liam Delap
didn't have an impact. And the guy that has impact in this from the Man City Youth Academy was Nico O'Reilly.
Just like Phil Foden.
Yeah, just like Phil Foden. And let me say this, it's not just quality. It's not just quality. Elite mentality.
To be with Pep Guardiola, you need to have this mentality.
Elite mentality. To play as a left back, no problem. Center back, no problem. Center midfielder, no problem. Right back, no problem.
No, and to have the technique and the attributes to actually say no problem, okay?
Yeah,
that's the difficult
Of course, a lot of quality. But the mentality of this guy, I think a lot of young players will say, this guy is playing me as a right back right now.
True. Judging the
I'm a number 10. This guy is playing
you can
me
never
as
judge Pep Guardiola. And another thing too, because you can never judge Pep Guardiola, because Nico O'Reilly at this moment, if we're talking about left backs for the English national team, Nico O'Reilly is in pole position next to Luke Shaw, next to Lewis Hall. No, in front of Lewis Hall and in front of Miles Lewis-Skelly. Nico O'Reilly should 100% go to the World Cup because of the development that Pep Guardiola does this season with him. Kudos, amazing job, and we're seeing another City legend growing here with Pep Guardiola, next to Phil Foden also too. I wanted to mention that in this episode. Did you see how I mentioned Elliot Anderson being an important player, pivotal player? I liked it. What did you think of that Fenerbahce game of Elliot Anderson? I watched it, and he played higher on the pitch. Vitor Pereira gave more responsibility to Elliot Anderson. I know you think Elliot Anderson is a true box-to-box. Yeah. How are you feeling with that? Happy?
Yeah. I think Elliot Anderson, again, the characteristics that I saw in Elliot Anderson is a number 8 that is a box-to-box.
When he was at Newcastle, he was very box-to-box.
And I think that's his pathway. In my opinion, that's his pathway. Because this guy can be really involved in the attacking game of the team of Nottingham Forest, but also wins a lot of duels.
The ball recovery of Elliot Anderson is at an insane level. I would say he's the most complete midfielder off ball in the world.
Yeah,
Off ball. I'm not saying on ball. On ball, Pedri. No joke, okay? But most complete off ball. Positioning, recovery, higher on the pitch, any position on the pitch. Man, Elliot Anderson is at that level. He's sticking it.
And you understand the differences between Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton. In my opinion, Adam Wharton is a number 6. I'm not talking about quality. I think I'm talking about the profile. I think Adam Wharton recovers as well a lot of balls, but in deeper zones of the field.
He likes to be between the center backs more.
Yeah. And I think Elliot Anderson is an authentic warrior in that midfield.
And we still agree the best possible place for Elliot Anderson is Man United.
Man United, yeah.
Because if Casemiro is having Kobe Mainoo and Elliot Anderson as a double pivot with Bruno Fernandes as a 10, that is the future of Man United for the next 5-10 years. It's such a wise choice. Wow, what a midfield. What a possibility.
And a lot of midfielders that are not in the big 6 teams are having a really consistent season in the Premier League because you have Elliot Anderson doesn't have a single bad game. Mateus Fernandes, I don't have words anymore for Mateus Fernandes.
We maybe have him in the choose one.
Every single game.
You did Mateus Fernandes to throw hold to me. Wanted to mention to a Champions League team, since I mentioned a bit Fenerbahce, Turkey, blah, 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 blah. Make the rationale Galatasaray went extremely bold against Juventus. But my friend, Juventus are winless in their last 5 matches. Spalletti could be the issue here, and he just arrived.
Spalletti is the issue. I don't think so. I think the team is not strong enough. That's the truth. Tell me one world-class player from Juventus.
That I think is world-class? I'm not going to say Kenan Yildiz is world-class. I think he's one step away of world-class. I think Bremer is one of the best center-backs in Serie A. I think Andrea Cambiazzo is one of the best wing-backs to play at the right and to play at the left. I think Locatelli is playing at a very high level and is quite underrated.
It's not enough. It's not enough to win the Serie A.
I'm not going against that. What I'm going against is the fact that they're winless in 5 matches, 1 draw, 4 losses, and I don't think there's any player that I'm truly feeling developing the same way as Kenan Yildiz.
Oh, okay.
There's no player that I'm getting that feeling. No player.
Yeah. I think Kenan Yildiz must be the face of this Juventus project for the future. This has to be clear.
100%.
If they want to win trophies again, they have to go to the transfer market and sign the right player.
And let me ask the community, next episode, if you comment in the YouTube comment section that you would like to see a Juventus rebuild, we can do a Juventus rebuild with Spalletti. Without Spalletti, we can say our choices, for manager too. Okay, so if you want to see this video, Juve rebuild, comment section down below, and we will do it. Yeah. So you were mentioning Mateus Fernandes. I just wanted to ask you one thing that we forgot with Chelsea. It's just Derry, okay? Just Derry next season. Plays for Chelsea's first team or he goes on loan?
I think he should go on loan, to be realistic. because you have Giovanni Kenda, you have Estevão, you have Cole Palmer.
Go on loan
Now
to
you are.
Strasbourg or Eredivisie?
I would prefer Eredivisie, and why? Because I think this type of players like just Derry, they have a lot of success in the league, like Eredivisie, a lot of goals.
If Mika Götze leaves to go to play on the wing for Ajax, just Derry.
Good suggestion, yeah. Because Ajax have Maier Carrizo right now, but just Derry.
Oh yes, Karetsas is very good. Yes,
Yeah.
that was a good signing.
Yeah, fantastic signing. But just Derry could be another option for Ajax. And Ajax,
Does Chelsea and Vitesse still have the?
I don't think so.
No,
Because,
we don't see any more Mason Mounts there, Matic.
I think Vitesse is not even in the Eredivisie. Or it is.
That's a good question. We can then check it.
I think they were relegated. I think it was a very tough situation in the club. I think I have to check.
We'll
this.
check.
I don't have 100. I'm not 100% sure. But
so yes, go on loan is the best.
go on loan is the best because staying at Chelsea to play
Or even Championship in England.
maybe,
staying in England.
I think Championship is a very tough league, but make the players develop so much. I think Harry Hamas will, for example, will arrive to Manchester United a very different player.
Amad Diallo. It changed Amad Diallo going to Sunderland that season.
Yeah.
Complete
and Michael
different
Olise
player.
played Championship with
True.
Reading as well.
True.
A lot of young players played that competition with 18 years old, 19 years old, and was a key part of their careers because it was very important for their development.
True.
And I think just Derry, I cannot see just Derry play Chelsea under 21 next season.
No. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I really wanted to ask you about this.
Because I think that's what's going to happen if he stays at Chelsea.
And there's others.
Schimelka,
Reggie Walsh, correct?
Walsh
and even
Schimelka.
Reggie Watson too. Also,
But
a good
Reggie
player.
Watson can
very
can
young.
Stay,
He's still
can
young.
stay
He
one
can still
more
have
season.
2 years. But Reggie Walsh, I'd still like to see him also maybe having a chance. But yes, so many players, and maybe he'll go to Strasbourg. So much conversation, and then he goes to Strasbourg, which there's a chance that could happen if Diego Moreira also leaves. Oh, so much talent. You were mentioning Matheus Fernandes. You have another West Ham player you want to mention too.
Yes.
West Ham are going extremely well with Wonderkids, right?
Yeah, right. Because it's not just Matheus Fernandes. Malik Diouf is doing a fantastic season. And what excites me more about this guy is the timing of the crosses that he does. He does the cross in the right timing, in the right zone, and it's a dream for every striker to have a fullback like Malik Diouf because the crosses are perfect. And he's also very aggressive, strongly. He's a beast. And another fantastic Wonderkid from Senegal. That Senegal has a lot
Mamadou
of...
Sarr,
Mamadou Sarr, Malik Diouf, Ibrahim Baye, Hassan Diao.
Great generation that's coming from Senegal.
Yeah, this generation of Senegal is fantastic.
And West Ham with Malik Diouf and Matheus Fernandes, these are the two Wonderkids that put you on top of the promotion battle. Not promotion, staying in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
And
I even got nervous there.
Malik Diouf went from Soviet Praga, and we saw a lot of players that struggled coming from the Sex League to reach in the big 7 leagues. For example, I'm thinking about Jurasek, for example.
Yes, I was
top level at Soviet Prague and went to Benfica and
not as good. Yes.
Not good enough. And Malik Diouf is different.
Adam Holzek also was such a huge Wonderkid, and then he went to the Bundesliga and
it's not an easy transition. I think the difference of the level is very high.
But he's doing it because of the physical dimension that he has as a player. So that is a very good highlight. And another player that is also impressing a lot in the Premier League, a Wonderkid outside, and we stated since day one. He arrived in the Premier League. We mentioned to all the listeners, okay? This guy was going to be game-changing. Rayan, that goes from Vasco da Gama to Bournemouth. Even at Vasco da Gama, we stated there was a chance he could go to the World Club. Playing for Vasco da Gama at an extremely high level. So now, honestly, seeing Bournemouth signing Rayan, an investment that has no risk for the value that he was signed, okay? Getting him for less than 30 million. For me, he can sell him even if he goes wrong for 30 million. Because there's going to be a Brazilian team that's going to be like, look, we know what he can do. We know what Rayan can do. We'll buy him off you for 30 mil. That's not going to be the case. But Rayan, the signing, what he did yesterday, he didn't score, but there was, please go, just type Rayan on X and see the chance. He just does the full field. I'm going to go bold and say, Rayan, is it going to the World Cup? Yes or yes? Because what he's doing in the Premier League, the transition that he's doing flawlessly from the Brazilian level to the Premier League at such a high level shows that he's a special, special talent, like we say with Estevão. Like we say now with Rayan, okay? Incredible player that, once again, Ancelotti is going to call him for the World Cup.
Let's see.
He is going to call him.
Maybe,
Judge me if that doesn't happen. Seriously, maybe. He is going to go there.
Maybe, and Igor Thiago is out after scoring 20 goals in the Premier League.
But he should have scored yesterday to Brighton. That match was important for Brentford, but I do think that Thiago's phenomenal, okay? But João Pedro, nah. The three strikers that Brazil is...
And Endrick goes to the World Cup?
Endrick goes and starts in the World Cup. Endrick's going to start now in the next matches of Brazil. I think he's going to start at least one. Endrick is going to start at least one match for Brazil in the next two matches. I think it's against France. And there's another tough match, but one of them is against France. Definitely, he's going to start in the friendlies. Hendrik, he's going to get the chance, and you're going to see Estevão not being there 100% because he's injured. We're really going to see Rayan there. We're really going to see Rayan getting the chance with Ancelotti.
Let's see. I'm starting to think that Rayan will go to the World Cup.
And the two players that have to get the call-ups for their national teams is Rayan Brazil and Matheus Fernandes Portugal.
And Valentin Barco Argentina.
But that's already, he's already there. He's already there. He was selected last time. Matheus Fernandes, we still haven't seen him. And Rayan, we need to see the debut with Ancelotti.
If Matheus Fernandes doesn't go to the World Cup, it's a huge mistake. Another huge mistake.
I don't know what he could have done to go to the World Cup.
It's another huge mistake from Roberto Martinez.
It won't happen. He will pick him.
If this guy brings Ruben Neves and left Matheus Fernandes out,
I would even put Matheus Fernandes ahead of Pedro Gonçalves at this moment.
Oh, yeah. Pedro Gonçalves is
because of the level of the Premier League.
Pedro Gonçalves is not in top form.
And can play at the 8, can play at the 10, even he can play at the 6, not very comfortably, but he can be a solution for all
now he's a number
these
8
positions. Completely. Last but not least, wanted to mention here a player like Karetsas that, yes, today... Very disappointing game against Standard Liège. They got beaten badly, Gink, okay, and Mats Betts. Yeah. But in the Europa League, he keeps on going bold, Karetsas.
12 assists in this season. A fantastic attacking midfielder, an authentic playmaker. And he does not have a lot of goals. He scored like 1 goal this season, but he has 12 assists.
That's true. He only has 1 goal.
12 assists is insane for an 18-year-old player.
That starts for his national team, and it's not any national team. It's the Greece national team. At 18 years old, special talent that we love here at FC Wonderkid.
And the next generation of Greece, be careful with that generation.
You picked Karetsas ahead of Rodrigo Moura, so it does make sense for us to talk about a special challenge, FC Wonderkid challenge. Choose one between two players. One of them has to be a youngster. And yes, we face each other, we say the names, and we have to do the difficult challenge of picking one of these players. Thank you so much if you're listening to the podcast until now. Like in this video. It's a huge help for us here at FC Wonderkid. Comments, players that you would like us to do in the Choose One for us to then do in future podcasts. And we will mention your names, giving those suggestions in the YouTube comment section. Thank you for choosing this video. So yes, I'm going to go first here, Fleep, with the Choose One. That is very, very difficult. So my challenge for the first Choose One to Fleep Souza, it's... choose one between Yan Diomande and Jeremy Doku.
Right now.
Don't tell me that right now. If you had to pick a player, between these two.
My favorite player.
And explain why you picked that player. Yes.
Okay, I think Doku is better right now and he's one of the best dribblers in the world. I think I will pick Diomande, because I think he will have more goal involvements than Doku in the future.
You said...
So I think he will be more clutch for the teams than Jeremy Doku.
It's factual. Doku is one of the best dribblers in the world.
Yeah.
Yan Diomande will be one of the best wingers in the world. That's why I would pick Yan Diomande ahead of Jeremy Doku. I know Doku in terms of dribblings, in terms of one-on-ones, the stats, insane, okay? One of the best dribblers we've seen in the Premier League in statistics, okay?
Yeah.
Not in terms of magician, like we see with Lamine, like we saw with Hazard. But Yan Diomande, guys, seriously, I don't know if we said it the correct way. Yan Diomande can be one of the best players in the world of football.
Yeah,
Left winger going from Leganés to RB Leipzig and dominating in the Bundesliga, okay?
For sure.
So please understand the special talent that he is, and that's why I wanted to do this, choose one Yan Diomande, Jeremy Doku, to understand the dimension of the player that he can become.
Okay. No.
You're like, okay, now I'm going to get you.
It's a difficult choose one. I have one here that is Kobe Mainu or Gavi.
I will pick. I'm gonna use the Flip Souza move right now. No, I'm joking. But peak that I've seen of both, I would pick Gavi, obviously. But as a player and as their situation right now in the club, Kobe Mainu has the safest situation at the club. He has the trust of the team, and then you have Gavi that has to compete with Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopes. I do think they're a bit of a different position too. Don't wanna get you wrong there. Kobe Mainu more of an 8'6", Gavi more of an 8'10".
They are both fates, in my opinion. They are both fates.
I don't know. Like, I think that Gavi essentially can play at the 8, but yes, I'd pick Kobe Mainu in this instance. Yes. Okay. So I'll go with you. You'll understand with what I'm saying here. Choose one between Andrei Sanch and Angelo Stiller. Very similar midfielders.
Angelo Stiller.
Why?
Maybe in terms of potential, Andrei Santos could get.
You stated Andrei Santos to start over Casemiro, which was very bold in the national team.
Andrei Santos is I really like Andrei Santos. He's a fantastic player. I think he will reach at very, very, very high level. I think Angelo Stiller is so underrated, so underrated, because he's a number 6 that is very complete. He does everything well. I think Andrei Santos, for example, could recover more balls in the games for Chelsea, for example. And I think Angelo Stiller does all that work off the ball very well. And he's also a deep-lying playmaker, a fantastic pass, fantastic understanding of the space. And right now, I'm going to say Angelo Stiller.
I think they're very similar level, Andrei Santos and Angelo Stiller, to be honest with you.
It's a tough one. And it's difficult to compare because Andrei Santos is playing in the Premier League. Maybe he have more challenges.
True, and he's got more competition in this position. Romeo Lavia is a stud also, and he's not playing.
Yeah, so I think I will choose Angelo Stiller.
Interesting. I would maybe go Andrei Sancho on this one, even though I love Angelo Stiller too.
I understand
it's a very tough choice.
It's a bold decision for me, choosing Angelo Stiller, because a lot of people don't even know Angelo Stiller.
Trust me, I got a bold one here for you. I've got a bold for one.
Oh my god! I have one here. I don't know your answer. Alexander Pavlovic.
So choose one between Pavlovic
and Adam Wharton.
Again, people that state this is an easy decision are not watching Pavlovic at Bayern Munich.
No.
Okay, one of the best players in this Bayern Munich team and a youngster. Between the two, I would pick Pavlovic ahead of Adam Wharton because I think Pavlovic should start for Germany in the World Cup. He's gotten to that level playing at Bayern Munich. Adam Wharton, he will be in the World Cup, but I think he should not start, and he's still not as good as maybe Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice because of the off-ball movement. On-ball, dictating the tempo. We mentioned in this episode, special players, special range of passing, incredible. But if we're comparing now with a Pavlovic, that's super complete.
Yeah.
And the reason why a midfielder like João Palhinha, that is the top player in tackles in the Premier League, leaves Bayern Munich because he can't do on ball what Pavlovic can do, and Pavlovic can do what Palhinha can do off ball too. So elite special talent. So I really wanted people to understand. If you're saying Adam Wharton, screaming Adam Wharton, watch
It's
Bayern
very
Munich and Pavlovic, okay?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Now, a Wonderkid special, okay? This is Wonderkid special. Choose one, Felipe Sousa, between Gilberto Mora and Nathan the Cat.
Hey, man. Very different roles, man. Very different roles. Very different roles. Nathan the Cat is a number 6. Yeah, I love Gilberto Mora. I'm gonna say Gilberto Mora.
And I agree with you, Gilberto Mora. Next season, it's going to be clear after the World Cup. People will understand how special of a talent Gilberto Mora is. Generational, and that's why we agree with Rafaela Pimenta, the agent of Gilberto Mora, stating it has to be the biggest Mexican transfer ever because you're dealing with one of the biggest Mexican talents ever in this day and age. In a day and age where transfers go for such magnitudes of money, and then you see players leaving Brazil for more than 40 million. Why can't we see that in other places? If the player has the talent to leave for that. And Independiente del Valle benefits a lot from that. Getting that guarantee that Caicedo is going to be a top player. Ordonez one day is going to be now a top player. Kendry Paez, hopefully he has this good... It's like River, right?
Yeah, River plays.
I was so shocked when I saw that.
Very strange.
But that's a whole different conversation. I told you I would get you with one.
I have one here that I think it's very difficult. Very difficult. Lamine Yamal or 18-year-old Mbappé?
Lamine Yamal, and the people that are stating Kylian Mbappé at 18 was insane. I agree with you. Yet, we're talking about, I agree with the statement of the best 18-year-old I've seen in my lifetime. Lamine Yamal. And what he did in the Euros for Spain is something I'm never going to see in my lifetime, possibly with another talent. At the age of 16, destroying a France national team, going to the press conference and just doing shots to Rabiot. At 16, how this level of confidence is insane, and the ability, okay? He is like we said it, Lamine Yamal is a Ballon d'Or contender now every season in football. And another thing too, he's the most irreplaceable player possible, okay? Nobody can replace Lamine Yamal at Barcelona. True. No one, okay? So that's why I think Mbappé never got to that point of being that irreplaceable.
It's true. I agree with you. 100%. 100%.
And now, these are two players you like. I cheated. They are not youngsters, but I really want to know your choice between choose one, Vitinha or Moisés Caicedo.
Vitinha, right now. Vitinha, it's different.
Portuguese bias.
No, it's not Portuguese bias because the midfielder that would want to Vitinha was
third position in the Ballon d'Or, and people say he's Portuguese bias for picking Vitinha ahead of Moisés Caicedo. No. Mate, you're completely right. Vitinha is at a higher level than Moisés Caicedo. Slight. Because these are two of the top 3 defensive midfielders in the world.
Yeah. Moisés Caicedo.
I'd put Rodri the third.
I think...
this season, no.
But Pedri...
No, I'm not going to put Declan Rice as a defensive mid. He's a box-to-box.
Oh, defensive midfielder.
Yes. You got frightened there. Yeah, I was like, who am I forgetting? That's what I was... Who am I forgetting?
I was thinking about Pedri.
Chouameni?
Pedri.
No. Center mid.
Okay. I have other one here that I think it's very difficult. I don't know if we already talked about this comparison.
Let's see.
Desiree Doué or Kenan Yildiz?
See, those are two players that I do think have Ballon d'Or potential in them. And I do see a possibility of one day holding that Ballon d'Or trophy. I would pick Kenan Yildiz because it's the player I like to see the most between the two. However, if I was to pick in terms of ability, it would be Desiree Doué. But I would go Kenan Yildiz, my pick. I think he's going to be the playmaker on the wing that is going extremely bold. But that's a very tough choice between Desiré Doué and Kenan Yildiz. Who would you pick?
I would pick Desiré Doué.
Because of the Champions League
Yeah,
final.
because he's clutch, and I think to win big trophies you have to have this type of players like Desiré Doué.
But if Kenan Yildiz had the team that Doué has at PSG, he would be
course.
maybe as clutch, no? Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think
Juve.
Kenan
Please
Yildiz
don't disappoint my guy
need
Kenan.
to build
I
a
get
great
nervous with
project around
I
Kenan
get
Yildiz.
nervous with this. This we kind of hinted in the podcast with Nico O'Reilly or Miles Lewis Skelly.
Nico O'Reilly.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt. There's no doubt now in this one.
No doubt. I have other two fullbacks, left backs as well.
Okay.
Is Hall or Malik Diouf.
Swims across is Malik Diouf, no doubt. Okay. I'd say Lewis Hall still. Still. It's a still. Because maybe at the end of the season, I'll say Malik Diouf. The best is yet to come. Maybe from both players. But I think Newcastle's form is looking a bit shaky. And Lewis Hall, that defense, Malik Thiaw is not as good as it seems. Livramento has not returned from injury. Trippier doesn't seem the same player. I think because of the team that they're in, the team context, I think at the end of the season it'll be Diouf. But Lewis Hall...
I would pick Diouf. Malik Diouf.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Because I think physically Malik Diouf is better than Lewis Hall. The crosses are better. And these two things are very important for a fullback.
Gotcha.
Malik Diouf is is faster.
True. Yes.
Hall.
Lewis Hall is extremely fast too.
He's extremely fast, but
he's
Diouf
more
is a
for the for the body that he has.
Yeah. That's why. But I understand.
You did to me Fro Holt or Matheus Fernandes. I picked Matheus Fernandes. What if I did Fro Holt or Breno Bidon?
No, right now Fro Holt. I don't get me wrong, Breno Bidon.
Corinthians fans are gonna go nuts with this.
No, I understand. You can say in the comments.
The regen Pedri of Brazil, Breno Bidon.
It is a fantastic player. Was very important for the last achievements of Corinthians.
Copa do Brasil.
Copa do Brasil. What he did, the Bergkamp skill.
The pre-assist.
Fantastic. And I think Breno Bidon will arrive to Europe soon. I think in the next summer transfer window, Breno Bidon will leave.
Where would you like to see him?
Sporting.
To replace Morten Wilmond.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's to replace Morten Newman. I think it's to replace Morita. Because João Simões is there is an option, but I think you need another option. I think Morten Newman, to replace Morten Newman, should be other type of player.
I agree with you because of the defensive work more the off ball. But you have Kochorashvili that's already there.
It's not
I
good
think
enough.
that no, maybe
he
can get a chance. He can get a chance. Rayan also in the Sporting B team. I don't know. But yes, I agree that it would be an interesting spot for Breno Bidon to go. Why? Because of Sporting, you improve your career. Morten Wilman, Gyökeres, Diomande, Trincão, Luís Soares, Maxi Araújo, all these players are now starters for their national teams.
Yes.
Because they went to Sporting. So Breno Bidon would elevate his profile going to Sporting. It would be an incredible choice for him as a player. But Breno Bidon, I thought it'd be more difficult, man.
No, because Breno Bidon, I think he will reach that level. Okay. But I think right now, Fro Holt is top midfielder and very complete.
Got you.
Just to end here, my last one.
And common suggestions for future, choose ones.
My last one, I have Valentin Barco or Warren Zaire-Emery.
Valentin Barco. I love Warren Zaire-Emery. We said can play at the 8, can play at the 10, can play at the 6. Very versatile. But Valentin Barco, what he's doing in Liga. Please watch Strasbourg, watch Valentin Barco. You'll understand why he needs minutes in the World Cup for Argentina, the winner of the World Cup. We're seeing Valentin Barco can have an influence for the winner of the World Cup. Maybe, like Enzo Fernandez was not being talked before the World Cup. After the World Cup, he was one of the most talked players in the world. Okay, that's why he left Benfica to Chelsea. Valentin Barco, after the World Cup, that effect can happen with him too. He can be one of the most talked players after what he can do for Argentina.
Yeah, very well said.
And the ball, maybe he was not going to be the same type of player. Valentin Barco, solution off ball, technically. Come on, play in the midfield, play in that spot. So
I agree with you. I would pick Valentin Barco as well, and I would like to see a midfield with Enzo Fernandez and Valentin Barco.
And you didn't say the Valentin Barco, Kobe Mainu. You would pick Valentin Barco too.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to put that out there because I got all that hate and I wanted to understand what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Man United fans, please go and watch Valentin Barco. That's what I gotta say from the last podcast.
Yeah. I think Valentin Barco is off the ball is better than Kobe Maino, for example. True. On the ball,
it's another story.
He's also fantastic. But I understand why people said Kobe Maino because Kobe Maino plays in the Premier League.
It's the peak of the player too. But yes, let us know down below. If you're listening until now, thank you so much for supporting the FC Wonderkid podcast. 5 stars on Spotify. Like I mentioned, let's go bold. 50 ratings. I said 40, but let's try and get 50. It is possible. Only people that have listened to the podcast can rate it on Spotify. So please make that huge favor to us. It's simple. Just 2 clicks, 5 stars. Thank you so much. And yes, we're back next week. Tell us suggestions, topics that you would like to see. And yes, thank you, Philippe Souza, for going so bold once again this week. And yes, thank you, community, for going bold with us.
Thank you.